When a paralyzed man was trapped in a burning car with moments to live, a beautiful stranger pulled him to safety. Days later, the heroic woman received a call she would never forget. To say that life has been a struggle for Dennis Brown is an understatement. The 58-year-old Dallas resident was shot at the age of 22 and subsequently paralyzed from the waist down. Still, he never let his disability slow him down. In fact, he even learned to operate a vehicle with just a few adjustments. However, something that had made his life a bit easier would also threaten to take it away. After renting a car that was equipped with a hand control device from Enterprise, Brown says something just wasn't right. After turning the ignition, he noticed a strange odor. Without warning, the front of the vehicle burst into flames, engulfing the car in smoke and trapping him inside. "I think it was a wiring issue. I rented this car several times. This time it smelled funny," Brown wrote. "It started smoking, then I looked up, it's on fire." While helping her friend move into a nearby home, Tammy Arrington, 42, glanced outside to see the blaze. Although she believed the car to be empty, she couldn't shake a gut feeling that someone might need help, so she headed over and peered through the smoke. Through the window, she saw movement coming from the driver's seat, the New York Post reports. "I just happened to see his head move just a little bit from the headrest, and then I realized there was someone in there," Arrington said. Arrington quickly rushed over and opened the door, urging Brown to flee. When the passenger informed her that he was paralyzed, she knew she had to act quickly. She said, "Get out of the car," said Brown. "I said, I can't, I'm in a wheelchair." Arrington initially tried fetching Brown's wheelchair but soon realized she didn't have time to put it together. Without hesitation, the 5'3" woman dragged Brown out of the car and far away from the fire. She then retrieved and assembled his wheelchair while firefighters arrived to extinguish the flames. Although she had undeniably saved Brown's life, she managed to slip away before Brown could properly thank her or even get her name. But in hopes of reconnecting with her, Brown broadcast his plea on the news. Days later, Arrington received an unexpected phone call. "I'd like to appreciate her for her heroic act," he told the station. "She went into harm's way to save me. Dragged me out. I'd like to thank her." When Arrington answered the phone, she heard the familiar voice that had cried out for once, just days prior. This time, however, it was filled with gratitude and joy. "The first thing I said was, 'Tammy, this is Dennis, the guy in the wheelchair,'" Brown said. "We started laughing, man, we just started laughing." While Arrington has received praise for her actions, the humble heroine doesn't believe she did anything out of the ordinary. "I'm glad he's okay," Arrington said, later adding, "Any human response, I think if they saw that, they would have done the same thing." Despite the traumatic event with the burning car, Dennis Brown hasn't let this second near-death experience get him down. If anything, he is more grateful than ever for the gift of life. "Life is beautiful, even from the sitting down position," Brown said with a big smile. Brown offered to treat Tammy Arrington and her friend to dinner the next time his savior was in town. He believed it was the least he could do for the woman who risked her own life to give him a fighting chance. Brown's search for his rescuer quickly gained traction in the local community. People were touched by his story, and many offered to help track down the woman who had saved him. Social media posts were shared hundreds of times, and news stations picked up the story, amplifying Brown's gratitude. He couldn't shake the feeling that he needed to see her again, not just to say thank you, but to express just how much her bravery meant to him. When Arrington finally received Brown's phone call, the conversation was filled with laughter and heartfelt appreciation. The two spoke for over an hour, sharing stories about their lives. Brown was amazed by how selflessly Arrington had acted, while she insisted that she had done nothing special. Their bond, forged in a moment of crisis, was undeniable. In the days following their emotional reunion, Brown and Arrington kept in touch. They spoke about meeting in person, and Brown remained determined to express his gratitude properly. He even joked that he would take her out for the best meal in Dallas, promising that she wouldn't have to lift a finger this time. Meanwhile, the story of Brown's rescue continued to spread, and people from all over the country reached out to praise Arrington's heroism. Many called her an angel, a title she quickly dismissed. "I'm just a regular person," she said. "I just happened to be in the right place at the right time." But to Brown, she was much more than that. She was the reason he was alive. He couldn't stop thinking about what could have happened if she hadn't acted so quickly. "That car was burning fast," he later recalled. "If she had hesitated, I don't think I would be here today." As the weeks went by, Brown began reflecting more on his second chance at life. He had already overcome incredible challenges after his injury decades ago, but this experience reignited something in him. He wanted to pay it forward. Inspired by Arrington's kindness, he started volunteering at a local rehabilitation center, offering support to others, adjusting to life in a wheelchair. Arrington, too, felt changed by the experience. Though she had never sought recognition, the overwhelming response from strangers made her realize the power of a single act of courage. She decided to become a certified first responder, wanting to be prepared if she ever found herself in another emergency situation. Their reunion finally took place weeks later in Dallas. As Brown wheeled up to the restaurant, Arrington was already waiting with open arms. The two embraced, and for a moment, words weren't necessary. The gratitude, the relief, and the shared understanding of that terrifying moment were all felt in that hug. Over dinner, they shared more stories, laughing as they recalled the frantic seconds of the rescue. Brown teased Arrington about her strength, joking that she must secretly be a superhero. "You're telling me a 5'3" lady dragged me across the pavement like it was nothing," he said with a grin. "I still don't believe it." Although they had met under harrowing circumstances, Brown and Arrington knew their connection would last a lifetime. They had gone from strangers to something much more, proof that in moments of crisis, ordinary people can do extraordinary things. As their friendship grew, Brown often found himself reflecting on the randomness of life. He had survived being shot, adapted to life in a wheelchair, and now he had escaped a fiery death, all because of a woman who just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Life works in mysterious ways, he mused. One moment you're in danger. The next, someone like Tammy shows up and changes everything. Arrington, too, felt a newfound appreciation for life. She had always believed in helping others, but this experience reinforced just how much even a split-second decision could mean. Inspired by the overwhelming support she had received, she began speaking at community events about the importance of stepping up when others are in need. "You don't have to be a hero," she told one group. "You just have to care." In the end, what began as a terrifying ordeal became a story of resilience, kindness, and human connection. Brown and Arrington remained close friends, their bond a lasting reminder that even in life's darkest moments, there are always people willing to run toward the flames, ready to pull others to safety. As the years passed, Brown and Arrington continued to stay in touch, celebrating each other's milestones and supporting one another through life's ups and downs. So their story, once a headline, became a cherished memory, one that they often shared with others to inspire kindness and bravery. No matter how much time went by, Brown never stopped reminding Arrington of the simple truth that had forever connected them. "You didn't just save my life that day, you gave me a reason to believe in people again."